Coming up here, Circle the Make Podcast, episode 66, 66, we will recap this past week, AEW's Dynamite Homecoming. What we're seeing a retirement now? Is that what we're seeing? New storylines coming up. Then also Pro Wrestling News, NXT, and our thoughts about, Wyatt leaving, being released, and an NXT star. Is he leaving or is he staying? So don't go anywhere. Much more coming up here on 66. So don't go anywhere. Click on our bio below. Subscribe and tune in as we start now. Welcome everyone to the Circle the Make Podcast, episode 66. This is the host, Stevie's One Ivan C. Here with my other hosts, my familia, the West Side Fashion Degeneration West, who we're called courtesy of Dirty Heels. Of course, we are missing a fourth member of the Horsemen, the director, which he's directing CZ Times. He's directing the Sleepy Seas Everywhere because he has a big event coming up. So stay tuned for that on his personal profile. But yes, let me go ahead and introduce my other hosts here. Of course, we have the callousest of all callous. He is the Switchblade. He is, I don't know what the hat is all about.
I'll say, Ivan, it is still my era of cooling Max Freeze. And breathe
It's
with the Max Freeze.
And sipping a nice ice cold Gatorade. I'm assuming, right?
Gatorade make wine now?
I don't know. Do they?
I remember that movie. It's like, what's in the canteen? Gatorade make wine now? Like with Eddie Murphy. I saw that stuck in my head. After all these years, it's been like 15 years since then. No, like 18 years since that movie came out.
Oh shit! And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Mad Hatter himself, Mr. Matthew Switchblade Callous Steamboat, and Freeze Mac Freeze by Sims. I have no idea. For all you audio platform listeners.
Yeah, I'm holding up a pain relief roll-on thing up to the screen. So yeah.
Yes, and of course, this man doesn't need no introduction at all because he doesn't. He's no longer that, anyways, because we already know that he is the by God of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen, because he is 2001 and 2019 as well World Karaoke Champion. We already know that because he is the Master Disaster, the King of Sting, the man with the plan, ladies and gentlemen, because he is money. By God, Air Mike Lopez.
You got that right.
Oh shit, you got there.
Remember
Kobe.
Remember Air Force Ones, y'all?
The song, or I hope
you
both
at the same time.
Air Force Ones.
Kicking in my Air Force Ones.
That's right. And I wanted to thank everyone for tuning in for 65. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it. Money Mike and I had a great time. A couple cocktails, but I heard that people want more, Mike. Matt, you got to join us as well. We got to get the whole crew together to do a live episode. People actually enjoyed it. I was surprised. So I'm not quite sure how you felt about it, buddy, Mike.
I felt that it was very well received, and I am glad that it was well received. So thank you to everybody. Really, it means a lot.
Yeah. Definitely. That means we got to do more, and we'll be doing that. We'll be doing
I
that more
actually-
often.
I actually have an outside noise canceling microphone that would really help with like whatever outside noise is going on.
Absolutely. We'll plan that ahead. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's a hot day always here in Southern California. We were summertime here in Southern California. I see you.
I see you.
I see you. So, ladies and gentlemen, what a week and upcoming weeks of pro wrestling coming. It's getting hotter and hotter by the minute. But let's go ahead and talk about AEW Dynamite Homecoming, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with the opening match. The Good Jotes. Of course, the demo of God himself. And Le Champion, Chris Jericho. One-on-one with in-ring return. It's been for quite some time. We haven't seen him. And that is Juice Juventud Mania. That's right, Juventud Guerrera. Of course, the way this match was put it was that Jericho needs to win the match by doing a top rope maneuver, which he did. He won the match with a super Judas effect. But I'm going to go ahead and take on to Mr. Mad Hatter himself, Switchblade. Your thoughts of that match?
So for those who didn't really grow up with WCW or weren't watching it in its initial run, because I actually didn't watch the original Juventud Guerrera versus Chris Jericho matches in WCW Nitro and WCW Saturday Night and WCW Thunder. How I know Juventud Guerrera was playing the WCW video games, WCW versus NWO N64.
Hell yeah.
I had the games, and I played as Juventud Guerrera, and you got to do so many cool off-the-top rope moves when you're using them. And I really have my fingers crossed that we see a lot more of them. I love the match, a lot of really cool off-the-top rope moves. I want to see how he works against the luchadors that are I want to see Juventud get mixed up in the Andrade and Pentagon and Rey Fenix, Fuego del Sol kind of feud world. I want him to work, and I want to see him work with Hybrid 2 and all of those guys, face or heel. I want to see him mix it up with the other high flyers, because I don't know if I've seen like a veteran first generation high flyer mix it up with the modern high flyers. They always have like they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but if it's the dog that invented it, they could bring something new to the table. I mean, like, imagine Will Ospreay and Billy Kidman. That's kind of what we're. This is kind of the level of stuff we could see here. Sami Callihan and Juventud would be really cool. Either tag team against each other, whatever. I want to see him mix it up with all the high flyers in AEW. You got the old fighter jet and you got the new fighter jets.
Hell yeah. That's like next level conscious shit right there, Matt.
Next level consciousness on a whole other plane. I'm turning Don Callis into some dude who talks inside of his mouth. I'm making him sound like Adam West or something like that. I don't know. I'll think of who it is. But yeah.
I love it. By God of podcasting.
By God. Yeah, so it's interesting because I felt that Juventud was able to go at a pace that was similar to WCW days, right? It felt that way. The Hurricanranas right away, all the high flying stuff going on. It seemed to me that Jericho kind of was slipping there. He didn't seem at that pace anymore, at the cruiserweight pace anymore, right? I felt that he wanted to do a match like that, but it just wasn't in the books. It seemed, to me. I have not watched the match back, but correct me, internet, correct me if I'm wrong, please, that Jericho didn't do a top rope maneuver midway through the match. He jumped off the top rope and hit Juventud on the head. I believe it was with an elbow.
Double X handle. A double X.
Yeah.
Handle.
So, I mean, technically off the top rope, offensive maneuver. And then he went for the pin, and Aubrey Edwards said, "No, that doesn't count. You haven't done a top rope thing." that was, I don't know, but that's just me nitpicking. And of course, people say, "Oh, he's nothing but a AEW mark." No, I'm not. No, you know, I love MLW and New Japan. So no, not just AEW, of course. So yeah, I nitpick on them too.
Mike, I'll say I think Juventud actually just kicked out for that one. I think because the count went down and he just kicked out at 2 pretty quickly.
Yeah, again, that's why I said, like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. Yeah.
And also, they even counted the Jericho on the walls of Jericho when he caught him, like when he reversed that from the Frankenstein.
It is from the top.
It is from the top, so that was counted.
Just
you can tell Jericho is not in shape for a damn cruiserweight match. He is not in shape at all. He was breathing heavily in that match, but the good Joe did it. He did it. I think he even looked kind of like skeptical of doing that Super Judas effect. Like, shit, I'm gonna hit it right, but he did it. Right.
All credit to Jericho. He did do that, and it was pretty cool.
Now we're looking forward to this. After the match, you'll see the forced labor was announced that it is going to be Wardlow and I guess MJF. This is where JR mixed me up. He said I'm going to be there alongside him. So what is? I mean, JR said a ref. So this is where I'm confused.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a ref, or is he just going to be on like a guest enforcer? That's where I'm like the biggest question asking her, because if you heard the commentating, JR Economy got me lost. But what MJF said was, no, I'm going to be alongside to make sure this called straight down the middle. So that's where I'm kind of like, is he going to be a ref, or is he going to be like a guest enforcer? So one of you guys, I don't know, correct me on that part. I don't. That's where I'm confused.
I think the ref would be kind of like a thing where I remember during the invasion angle, there was all the alliance refs counted slower for the WWF guys.
Yes.
So they might do something like that.
Nick Patrick.
Or, yeah, they might do a Nick Patrick thing, and then MJF's just gonna like pretend not to see things, and then constantly try to disqualify Jericho for stuff. And then I don't know, it might get to the point where it might be holding up the match so much that it's just, okay, forget it. Let's bring in another ref.
Right? And then bring Teddy Long back as a ref. His counts were worse. Like,
with the Undertaker.
With the Undertaker. And of course, we did see Darby Allin.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
I want to make a prediction here.
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see if this plays out. Let's see if this is going to be accurate. Prediction. Here's what I think is going to happen. Okay. So MJF is going to be the ref, and Jericho is going to try to do the Judas effect on Wardlow. Wardlow ducks. Jericho hits MJF, knocks him down. So MJF is down for the count, right? Then he does something to Wardlow, maybe another Judas effect, goes for the pin, and like Stone Cold Steve Austin did with Shane McMahon, Jericho grabs MJF's hand, 1, 2, 3, and there you go. That's
I believe that.
Bring that back. I'd love that.
I believe that.
So funny.
I definitely, I was gonna say that, Mike. Great minds think alike. But I didn't think about the Shane McMahon one. I thought about the one, the Dude Love and Stone Cold at Fully Loaded. McMahon being Stone Cold, counting McMahon's hands down. Remember that one? So, hey, but great minds think alike, brother. Hell yeah. I absolutely agree. That's right. I think
everyone's got pop for that too. Just like, hey, you didn't Jericho's gonna be like, hey, you didn't say it, your hand went down,
Exactly. And you called it straight down the middle, MGF. So there you go. Great prediction. I love it. I love it. That's right, Leo. That's right. I know you're watching. And of course, we did have the following match. We'll talk about the little segments at the end of it. But let's just go ahead and get to the main points of the match. So we had Darby Allin, Moxley, Eddie Kingston versus the debut of Daniel Garcia and Everrise. Formerly known as Everrise from NXT. I thought they were going to make a great hit, but in NXT. But budget cuts, whatever, and they just signed an extension, and out of nowhere, they just cut them off. They were released. And now they're here, now they're here. You have Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, known as 2.0. That's gonna be your 40-year-old. That I'm gonna get shit on this. That's your mid 40, 50 Young Bucks version right there, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at it right there in picture. You're looking at yourself in the mirror, like, oh my god. No offense to Ever Rice, but I'm sorry, brothers. But yes, now we've seen make your debut. Great debut, by the way. I'm not knocking him down. It's a great 6-man. A little funny at the end, but it was great. Great moment. We always see, Moxie almost smiled. And, I know Eddie was happy to see, Stang! It was great. It was entertaining, I could say. wouldn't say it was like a great match, but it delivered a great entertaining, throughout the card, throughout the first hour. So take it to you, Money Mike. Your thoughts about that 6-man tag match?
Yeah, solid match. I enjoyed it. And, I didn't really get to see them in NXT much. Were they usually on the program? I'm not too familiar, but here in AEW, it seems that they already know Kingston from the past. Or I don't know if it was them or their partner. But yeah, I mean, solid debut. I want to see more from them in the future, of course. But yeah, so thumbs up.
Thumbs up. That's right. Matt Callis.
I gotta say they have a very old school style presentation. Like I know the skinniest guy. The guy, he was actually just as skinny as Darby Allin.
Yeah.
So but at the same time he's very classy in his presentation because he's kind of like the whole wiping his feet on the apron with the towel on his neck. Who does that remind you of?
William
Regal. Yeah. We took it right the words right out of all. I think we all said it at the same time.
Yes, we did.
Was he trained by William? I mean,
That's
I know
the biggest question. I don't know.
When they were on NXT, I'm thinking Regal was there. He's definitely one of the trainers.
Mostly has to be. Unless he was part of the Performance Center and he didn't make the cut. I didn't see him in NXT. I have not seen him in NXT or 205 Live Hour. I have not seen it, so I'm not really familiar with him.
Very, very classy. And the tag team, they actually remind me of like a more like early 90s style tag team. Yeah. I think if you build them up more, they would be a good rival for FTR.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Old school versus old school. 80s style versus 80s style.
Yeah. Definitely.
Bring a little bit of old school tag team back.
Speaking of old school, which I forgot to go ahead and speak about before about it, but I want to say it very quickly. It was like, in the pro wrestling world, ladies and gentlemen, we lost a great, phenomenal, a legend in the ring. He is the greatest mind in the sport of professional wrestling. Gave us the greatest matches that he ever had, along with Ric Flair winning his first television title against Arn Anderson. The longest over 25 years rivalry feud with Rock and Roll Express, and that's right.
Rock and Roll.
The beautiful Bobby Eaton. God rest your soul, brother. I know that condolences to your family, to your children, to your sister who made the announcement. It's sad, and it's the great mindset, man. If you do not know who Bobby Eaton is, go back,
watch the Midnight Express matches. The finisher, the rocket launcher, and the Vegematic are such cool moves.
And of course, the Alabama Jam, I love it. He hit it right, the Alabama Jam. I loved it. And then in ECW, when he made his debut in ECW as well, the guy kept going until almost for quite some time. Even went back to Japan and ended his career. Actually, no, he ended his career with the Rock and Roll Express. Had one last turn, with Stan Lane, and I think it was Stan Lane that he had against, Ricky Morton, and, they had their last, match, and he retired. But nicest guy. Nobody ever talked bad about him because he was the nicest guy in pro wrestling. He married Bill Dundee's daughter, had 3 children, wonderful children. So it's like I said, condolences to the family, and we're gonna miss you, Bobby, and thank you for the memories. I'll tell you that.
I think all of the niceness that Bobby Eaton has. Like, he gave all of his meanness and anger right to Jim Cornette. It's like Jim Cornette makes up for him being nice. Like,
I know, right? And you
I
know
think
what? And,
complete opposites.
and I'm wondering what, like, well, I'm curious now to hear Jim Cornette's thoughts about the passing. I know he's gonna hit him hard. You know, that was his best friend.
He did a special for Harley Race, so he's gonna probably break it down a lot more. And I'm
not only that, my
Cornette. Oh yeah, go.
My apologies, but not only that, but he did a fundraiser for Bobby Eaton. They had a Bobby Eaton show, a fundraiser show. He didn't know about. William Regal showed up, Dave Taylor, everybody showed up. Like, amazing, you know, like, because he was battling, you know, through illness. Then especially after his wife passed away. So, you know,
I was gonna tell everybody to stay tuned for later on in this review, because I'm actually going to quote another Jim Cornette-ism, because he kind of predicted something a little bit on a nail on the head. So I'll when we get to the segment, I'm gonna make this a little bit of a surprise to you.
Mike is getting ready for it. That's why he got his lead pipe. He's ready for it.
I'm just sorry.
I almost thought you were gonna be like, "This is what you get for Cornette-isms, Matt."
And of course, we did see Christian Cage versus the Blade. You know, this was a long match. I got to give it to, you know, Blade is also underrated. But Christian Cage did give him a great match. People might give a shit. I know the crowd did not really interact very well with that match. But towards the end, kind of it did. But it was great to see Blade giving some time in the ring and not being, you know, being too much of a jobber. He had some great offense, great comebacks. And now it was announced that Christian Cage is the number one contender, but we'll get to that to the end. But I'll go to you, Matt Callis. Your thoughts about this match of Christian Cage and Blade, and do you feel like Blade is underrated?
So there's a lot of backstory that actually, I don't know, I guess it's a outside of kayfabe thing to kind of know this, but, you know, of course, we could go back to our old interview with Jeff Carpenter, you know, JT Starr. In the early days, the Blade wasn't the Blade. He was Pepper Parks. He was a cheerleader boy. He had a funny cheerleader gimmick, and he wrestled for the Cincinnati promotion during his early days. So he's been around quite a while. So, you know, he could do a long match and work a lot of different spots. You know, they teach you a little bit of old school style of working. You know, Moxley, JT Starr, and Pepper, they all cut from the same cloth. They've been around a minute. You know, very experienced veterans at this point. The Blade may be new to all of you, but Blade's been around quite a minute. And I don't know if we're going to cover this as a separate segment, but I guess when Christian Cage talked about Allie the Bunny, you know, she's from Toronto. They're both from Toronto, and I guess I didn't know this. I guess those two knew each other, and that's why Christian did the whole "Thank you for being a friend." Yes. Travel back around and back again. Da, 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 you're a friend and a confidant. And I'm like, what? Like, Christian wouldn't be all goofy for somebody he doesn't know. So I guess he might have been like, they knew each other from Toronto, you know. Maybe that wrestling scene is pretty close knit for all we know. Yeah. So Allie the Bunny and Christian, who knows? This could build to a very deep rivalry. Christian's good at building, you know, stories with women in feuds and stuff like that. So who knows what this could lead to?
Definitely.
Especially a woman he's known for a minute.
Yeah. Great observation. See, you learn here in Circle Debate, ladies and gentlemen. You learn, you know, the next level of consciousness right here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
We go deep.
Not even gonna respond to that.
That can mean many different things.
Yes.
Hey, the Great Lakes. Hey, there's a Great Lake. There's Great Lakes between the United States and Canada, and those lakes are very deep. So.
My name, Mike. Take it over.
I don't even know how to top that. That's what she said.
Yeah, Allie, the bunny.
Oh yes. But mostly the Christian segment, right?
Both the match and the
segment.
Both.
They're both connected.
We lost money my track.
Yeah, I just
Christian versus the Blade.
Christian, yes, there you go. Christian versus Blade. Yeah, the Blade himself, I see potential there, but I didn't know because I never really watched Impact. I didn't know that he was in Impact, and he had this big storyline, like wedding thing going on, and with Maria and Ali. But here in AEW, I feel like he could be taken a little bit more serious with this gimmick, more so than what he had over there in Impact. But I mean, come on. For him, I can only imagine how excited he was walking out there, knowing he was gonna go one-on-one with Christian. So pretty cool stuff there. Christian, of course, I'm sure, and I will always say this, that instead of being fed to Roman Reigns, he is here competing with people that otherwise he probably wouldn't have competed against. So that's always good. And these matches have been pretty good. Congratulations on him becoming number one contender. Will he get a title shot? Will we get Omega Christian? Hey, why not? I'm for it. Sign me up. So I know Hangman is going through stuff, and I mean, I know this kind of goes into another topic here, but I'll say this. For Hangman, they gotta turn him around eventually. Hopefully not too late, because with a hero, which he's the hero in the story, eventually he wins. If he keeps losing, going down the ladder, then people are going to stop believing in him. So I would really want for him to at least get that title shot and make it a great match with Omega. So there's that. So that's what I guess.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, Blade, since he teamed up with Butcher back in the independent scenes, and they did great. Great tag team. Well liberated. But Butcher himself asked a singles competitor, I think, yes. Yeah, what she said. Definitely, I mean, he's very underrated, and how Matt said, definitely he has a lot of in-ring skills, abilities for quite such time. Hopefully we get to see more of him and develop it more, and see what the outcome is with this, with the Hardy compound. Let's see how it is, the Hardy family. See how it goes more. Just have to wait and see. All right. Then we finally see Devin, Feast, you got what you wanted. Now it happened. Red Velvet coming out during Britt Baker's segment. Now she's challenging Britt Baker for the AEW Women's title, which we're going to get next week's Rampage. We're going to get, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get Rampage. So we'll see how that comes out to be. But Clark Street, love you guys. Courtesy you guys got what you wanted. You got the match that you've been wanting it to have for quite some time. You now finally have it. I hope this match delivers though, between Britt Baker and Red Velvet. I hope from the last time they met, I'm hoping this time it excels more. So I'm hoping we'll see the outcome of it. But Money Mike, geared back to you. Are you hoping or wishing that this match will deliver for Rampage debut coming next Friday?
It's not Rampage. It's the Britt Baker show. That's exactly what this is going to be. It's in Pittsburgh or Britsburg. It's a showing. Yeah, that's what us cool folks are calling it.
Brit Mac. I might buy a Brit Mac just because of that.
I like that. I like it. Extra
All
pickles.
fact.
Extra pickles, Matt.
Matt eating a Brit Mac and we know why it's getting to that. It's all fact.
All that. And
all
then
that.
some. Mm-hmm. Because yes, I mean, okay, looking at the rankings, Red Velvet at number 3. Yes, she's one of the top 5 competitors in the AEW women's division, and therefore qualifies, I would say. She went out there for the challenge knowing she's number 3. in uh, yeah, cool, but if you guys notice, I don't want to change the topics, but yes, Red Velvet is getting getting a push here, because this is the debut episode of a brand new show, right? One that comes after SmackDown chronologically, right? Or in airtime. So it should be fun, should be interesting. And yes, Britt Baker, DMD with the win, but for sure, I feel like they're gonna let Red Velvet show off whatever she can do in the ring.
Matt Callis, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I definitely want to see more of what Red Velvet can do, because I don't think I really saw enough of what she's capable of in the Shaq match. Like all people remember from the Shaq match is this.
You ready to go into? Let's do a clothesline, right? Do a clothesline. Let's do
Just like Shaq was. It looked like Shaq was about to eat like a giant sandwich. Like, ooh, Cody looks yummy. For the audio platform listeners, I'm doing the kind of like, ooh, I'm making like the butthole shape of my mouth and widening my eyes, like, almost like one of those surprise clowns or whatever. But with Shaq aside, I mean, not derailing. I mean, history's history. It happened, But he comes out of the ambulance like this, with his eyes wide open and his lips puckered. But Red Velvet, I want to see more of what she could do. I mean, she showed she had some promo skills. She could be, a little bit spunky, a little bit, what's the word? Scrappy. That's, yeah. And I guess this was definitely a night for scrappy, smaller ladies that could do different things. I'm going to point out, I was watching the episode with my girl, and we were noticing how much taller Britt was than Red Velvet. But it makes a great David and Goliath type thing. She's gonna get a lot of sympathy in that match. Britt might be. I predict Britt will be dominant, but the hope spots are gonna be really good. Her fighting from underneath. So
let's hope so.
It's gonna be a very struggle. I think Red Velvet's gonna win over the audience. I think that night, because everybody's gonna be like, man, she's almost getting it. She's gonna get. No, like. That feeling, that's what wrestling is to us. That feeling, like, is she gonna get it? Is she gonna, not be a jobber anymore? She's gonna make it. There's like, no, like that, that edge of your seat type thing,
Absolutely. To quote JR, so close yet so far. But what it is. And then we did get another segment after that. We did get, before we talk about this one, we did earlier get on. Adam Hangman Page he felt that it was his fault that the Dark Order didn't get their shot. He's like, you know what, we're gonna separate for a cool bit. I need my time. We'll do this not right now. Then we see Adam coming out, was gonna announce something. Then the Elite came out. Obviously, the Elite attacked Hangman. Dark Order was about to come out and make the save, but Stu Grayson and Evo were like, no. And I guess it ended that way. And then obviously Kazarian, the Elite Hunter, tried to make a save too, but he got his ass whooped too. It's a Saturday. I mean, I don't. But I'm gonna wait till we're done with writing down AEW, and then I'll talk about that. But how the hell? Let's do it now. Damn it! Why they're destroying this? I know they're gonna. I know what you're saying. Like, you're saying to save this later, give Hangman and coming back, but my fear is if you hold them back, that crowd's gonna kind of like die out, because you're gonna have debuts. If CM Punk comes to Chicago All Out, it's gonna die out. It's gonna definitely die out for Adam Hangman Page, in my opinion, because now you're gonna have CM Punk or even maybe Daniel Bryan that same night. I don't know, but anything could happen.
Or Ric Flair.
Oh, who cares about Ric Flair? No offense, Ric Flair. Woo! I love you, but okay, we don't need you to
That's
be there
gonna be
anymore.
That's gonna be the most ridiculous shit ever. Kenny dropping the title to Ric Flair.
Oh my god.
17 times.
18 times.
Oh gosh.
18 times.
Oh,
Who
man.
knows? I'd be getting the title in the next decade. Woo!
But I just hope they don't kill this shit, man. That's my fear of it. It's the fact that because we're having these two major debuts, that they're holding this storyline behind for that reason. Yes, we know he's having a newborn as well. I mean, that's what they're understanding part 2. But I mean, if it is because of that reason, and they already announced that it most likely is going to be Christian and Kenny at All Out anyways, which is not good for Christian, to be honest, because, like I said, once again, if CM Punk's going to make his debut, that match is not going to be like, oh my God. Not on my watch. I don't think so.
You know what?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Matt.
You know what? Okay, so the segment disappointed me, but in a very different way. So the second I saw the Dark Order go retreat to the back, it's like, no, we have to let Hangman take care of this himself. I really thought Hikuleo, Tama Tonga,
Me too.
I was just waiting for them to come out, you know, just to finally, oh, the Elite's here. Let's finish our job. And then maybe they could do a promo in the next episode. Hangman need a little backup, you know. Apparently he knows who the real enemy was the whole time. Kenny, you've always been a snake and blah, blah, blah. And Bullet Club turns babyface, all of them. And then we get the full on Bullet Club invasion and them just annihilating the Elite. And it will be like, and Hangman has such a big army behind him now. So, and then maybe we could get Bullet Club Dark Order. Who knows?
Ooh.
So that's kind of what I mean. Because I wasn't thinking about him having the kid. I didn't know about. Well, I knew about it, but I'm just like, it's not at the front of my brain.
Right,
you know?
right.
So I mean, another thing he could do is probably put Hangman in a feud with CM Punk or Daniel Bryan in the coming, because depending on how soon one of those two shows up, and you know, not to win, Mike, just kind of, and not in a match right away either, just to kind of get some more kind of promos on each other. Maybe one jumps the other in a segment or something like that. You know, one attacks the other backstage and is kind of jealous, and you know, they just have a lot of face-to-faces, and then we could have a really good build-up for Full Gear or something like that, like a really violent first contender, number one contender match. So I don't know what your take is, Mike.
It's tough. I am not jealous of whoever's booking this, which I'm assuming is Tony Khan. I am not jealous because you have to be careful here. Hangman is one of your guys, and by your guys I mean I guess you could say homegrown AEW talent. Hasn't been to NXT, hasn't been to WWE. He's your guy, and you got to take care of your guys. Do not feed him to CM Punk. Do not feed him to Daniel Bryan. No,
Not being fed.
No.
Just rivalry, not being fed.
Oh no! I mean, because if that rivalry happens, odds are either Danielson or Brooks are going to win or are going to get the upper hand. Odds are, right? If I was a betting man. So as far as Dark Order, you know what? I wish they wouldn't have come out at all. I mean, I guess I understand that, you know, they really wanted to help their friend, so much so that they went ahead and still went out, but then backed up. But I kind of wish they wouldn't have come out at all, that they, you know, got the idea and, you know, okay, we won't interfere, sort of thing, out of respect for your wishes. But yes, there needs to be a hope. There needs to be, Hangman is the hero here. Cowboy shit, you know, people are cheering for this guy. The pop he got on the first show back with an audience, it was great. You know, you see the momentum in him. I see the momentum here, and to be, you know, he has to win. in my opinion, Hangman has to take the title from Omega. He's the guy. If I was booking, I would have made that happen at All Outs. Mrs. Hangman, let your husband stick around for a little bit. Let him get the title, because in the long run, I feel it's going to benefit their family even more. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? It's really tough to kind of call it here. I mean, we respect the person's decisions, of course. Who wouldn't? Families first. That's all. That's a given. In this point, I think the family issue that had nothing to do with it. I think it had to do more with these upcoming, debuts of these two individuals. Which, once again, to clarify, we're just giving our opinions about it. We're not here to tell you that it's confirmed they signed or not. It's rumor in your window still. There hasn't been no confirmation whatsoever. So I'm not here to say that they are. We're here to say if they make their debut, then okay. I think this is the direction that Khan wants to go with. Okay, I kind of understand why. You need that hype. You need that moment for Chicago. You want it. That's why it's sold out for the last couple of days in Chicago because of that reason. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not. Like I said, I'm done about CM Punk. We've talked about this in our archives. Remember, subscribe. But yes, we talked about it before. I'm sick and tired of it. I need to see him there for me to believe it. To see, okay,
seeing is believing.
Seeing is believing, baby. He's there, then I'm all in. If not, I'm all out. Shit.
All out. Pun intended.
Well, there you go.
Imagine, and I don't know if Matt was the one that said this. Or I heard this somewhere. Sorry, Matt, if it was you, but imagine if MJF or you hear Cult of Personality at All Out, and out comes MJF with a smirk on his face, like expecting somebody else, sort of thing. How angry the Chicago crowd would be at something like that.
It's kind of like what Shawn Michaels did to in Canada when he was Bret Hart one, and I'm running that Raw. I love that one though because everybody was like, "Oh shit!" and he pulled it off. He's like,
"I know for a fact, Mike. I know for a fact, Mike. I definitely want the first feud for CM Punk to be MJF. Yes, that's the one I most want because just the promos and the brutality." And just it's so classic because those two, when CM Punk worked with Jericho, it was gold. And I want to see that kind of beautiful painting of a feud that they could create. I'm starting to think of these feuds as works of art that two wrestlers or two tag teams are painting together.
Yeah, we just have to wait and see first how this develops. Like I said, seeing is believing. How you said it, Matt. I'm gonna wait until I believe that shit when it happens. Until then, I'm not gonna give my opinions of like who until it happens, because I'm tired of that CM Punk shit. Like I said, I have respect for him. I love his work. I'm a fan of his work, but we haven't seen him in the ring in quite some time. So I don't. That's where I'm like, the wrestling transition so differently now. It's not the same how it was back in years ago.
It can't be worse than his UFC career.
At least give him. At least he technically won one by disqualification.
Yeah. Well, actually,
give him the credit for one, bro. Skip
one.
No,
0 wins,
one
loss, and 1 no contest.
Yeah, well, there you go. Okay, there you go. All right, and then we did have. I don't think this is pointless. I want to trash talk a little bit. I know I might get shitted on it. Miro, Lee Johnson, TNT title. I don't know what was the point of it.
Yeah,
I get was Lee want to help the kid out, push him a little bit. Kind of like wasted that time slot. I would have used it for the women's. I mean, it did. But I would have put another women's match in that, in my opinion. This was kind of senseless. But I get it. It's a TNT title. It has to be defended on TNT. But I just wish it could have been a little bit different. I did like the momentum a little bit, but we all knew it was going to be a fucking squash match. We already knew. The least thing I want a Miro to do is attack Dustin, and then that would have been a setup for a match for next week. Something like make Miro more powerful than what he looks already. I think they should have gone that direction with him. If it was going to be a squash match, squash at least also his coach, his mentor. I mean, Money Mike, I don't know how you feel about that one.
Yeah, I did not like that they gave Lee Johnson. That's his name, right? So much
big shoddy Lee Johnson.
It's not, to me, it's not believable that he had so much offense on Miro. At least in my opinion, I think Miro should have been much more dominant in that match, and probably ended the match a little sooner, and maybe even give way to, like you said, he attacks Dustin right after. Dustin is checking on his boy. Hey, you're okay, and then wham, like, what are you doing in my ring as I celebrate, sort of thing. God's favorite champion would not allow some other guy to get in his ring while he's celebrating a victory, that sort of thing. And there you go, Miro versus someone, a legend, living legend, like Dustin Rhodes. So that would have been really cool, and I feel it was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it was. It was a mishap there. Switchblade, your thoughts?
So I was watching this with my girl, and she pointed out something I wouldn't have seen. So she follows CML. She watches CMLL regularly. I don't know who here is familiar with Mystical.
Yes.
Mystical.
I am. The original one. Is you talking about the original one or the CMLL version now?
I guess the more recent. I guess there's a more recent one.
Yeah, that's the CMLL version. Yeah.
So Mystical, Jennifer noticed that Mystical and Big Shotty Lee Johnson were wearing the same trunks, the same kind of pants.
Really?
And then the next thing she noticed is that remember when he was doing those repeated super kicks, 6 in a row? Mm-hmm. That's a Mystical spot. Ooh. Apparently she noticed that Mystical does the same kind of thing. And then the roll up. I really liked everything Lee Johnson was doing here, because I think tonight, especially this episode of Dynamite, was an episode that was a very strike, kick, and punch heavy. It was a very punch heavy night, punch and kick heavy night. And this definitely satisfied my appetite for kicks. I was like, yummy.
Super kick party.
Yeah. And I like how he kicks. I like that he was able to get a lot of offense in on Miro. I kind of wish Miro did some more kicks himself, because he could do some pretty cool roundhouse kicks.
Yes, he can.
I wish it was like a battle of the kicks, but they wanted to work it a little bit differently. Okay. But I have a suspicion that either Big Shy Lee Johnson's a Mystical fan, or he might have trained with them, or trained with somebody who trained him.
Very great observation there, Mr.
Let's research, guys. We learn things here at Circle of Debate. We don't just say, "Oh, I like it, I hate it." We've got detective work.
Yes. El detective.
El detective.
El detective.
So watch Mystical on CMLL and kind of see how similar him and Lee Johnson will work. Big Shotty. I think what was it? Somebody said being Shotty is like one of these Shotty types walking around here. So, big creepy, or big. These nicknames are interesting. They change, slang changes every so often, and not being nasty or anything, but giving somebody some hard dick meant.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It used in 1945, Ivan.
Wait, hold on.
That used to mean giving somebody a good talking to, giving somebody some advice. There's a
yes.
Captain America. That there's a video of Captain America was like, yeah, I'm gonna give Bucky
Black Widow.
Yeah. that. Because they don't know what's good for them. I got to teach them a lesson. I gave them some...
Matt, what is Captain America gonna give Black Widow?
No, it was Bucky that he was.
Oh, what is Bucky gonna give Black Widow?
No, it was Captain America giving it to Bucky. It's like, I got to give that guy talking to.
Wait, what did he give him? You said
a good Like it was something with Dick, like something.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
1945. You guys look up old school slang.
I will.
Being shoddy isn't being shoddy. I guess maybe in like 5 or 7 years ago, probably wasn't something you want to call yourself. But I guess it's changing. I don't know where slang's going, you guys.
I mean, the era's changed. Hold on, it's somebody over there. I'm gonna talk to my boy and give him some good dick. No, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Why do you have to say like Mr. McMahon?
If it's 1945, 1945, they'll tell you all about it. You know,
if we had a time machine, if we go back to 1945, things would have been different right now.
Mm-hmm.
We would have seen a lot of Matt Callises around the world.
Oh man,
I guess we would have. I believe that. Believe that. I tell you that. Player. Then we get the women's match that we all decided to talk about. That's obviously, which surprised me, which Serena Deeb is now out from NWA. Shout out to NWA as well. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job. They sold out for NWA 73. Still, tickets are still available for limited tickets for NWA Empower. Still limited seats. Also, the women's pay-per-view match only. We'll be watching that. I cannot wait. But definitely, now we see Layla Hirsch defeating Bunny, her versus Camille Brickhouse. I've been mentioning about this individual for quite some time. Camille, very underrated. She has the look. She is still, developing more in the ring. But man, what a size difference, right? Can somebody book, damn it, Camille and Jade Cargill, damn it. I need that match. I need it, not now, but later on. Book it later. Make it an invasion. NWA versus AEW's women's division and versus NWA. And there you go. Boom.
I think it's going to happen a lot sooner than we think.
Oh, speak it. Preach the words. The floor is yours, Buddy Matt.
So this match in particular, like I said, it was definitely, we saw it with Red Velvet earlier. Now we're going to see it with legit Layla Hirsch. We're smaller ladies showing how scrappy and dangerous they could actually be, that they're not afraid of a lady bigger than them. And if I'm not mistaken, I was thinking Layla was coming from an MMA background, but I guess it's also like a catch wrestling background.
Yes.
So she has, and it was really cool to see her work her move set. It was reminding me, and just because you're smaller, she's more muscular and more like, I guess, quicker. Kind of like it's like Kurt Angle against a basketball player kind of thing going on. So what we could see, just imagine that kind of thing. So it could be that strategy. I remember on another podcast we were saying, like, if you fought the Big Show, I would crawl to the center of his back so you wouldn't be able to hit me. He'd be like, it's like trying to hit a bug in the middle of your back. You're like, and I just bite down really hard, like But Layla was really cool, and I kind of hope to see more of this match and more of these NWA qualifiers. This is pretty cool, and we'll see a lot more crossovers. Let's see all the promotions keep sending the ladies around. And once again, I will not shut up about it. We're seeing the NWA and the AEW title. I want a women's tag title. Stop freaking slacking on it, AEW.
Well, NWA is already doing it. We mentioned last week, Mike and I, that they're bringing back the NWA women's tag team titles. So Mike and I mentioned that this is an opportunity for AEW women's division to jump on to NWA to make, there's your crossover there. Make something out of those, those prestigious belts are going to be relived again, finally.
You can make it the main event of Dark, or you could have it on Dynamite or Rampage.
Yeah, have it on Dynamite or Rampage. Why the hell not? That's something that it works for both parties, for NWA and for AEW. Because it's the way how Billy Corgan is doing a phenomenal job right now, reviving the promotion itself. And now having Mickie James there as well, helping to develop the women's division there, finding the greatest scouts, scouting for the greatest women, that's even better. I mean, this should be Women's Year, which we'll talk about in Pro Wrestling News, because there's another tournament that I'm loving seeing by far, which I'll announce later on. Buddy Mike, your thoughts of this Layla Hirsch and Camille now that they're going to be fighting at NWA Empower?
Yeah, it's interesting. I feel that of course, the David and Goliath dynamic that's going to happen here. Now, a little bit on NWA Empower. So honestly, as soon as it was announced, it was very intriguing to me. The idea of cross-promotional women's wrestling and, having this event, not like WWE's Evolution where it's just their women, but no, here it's anybody could show up, right? So that is very, very intriguing. However, a small however, I'm very curious to see how the storylines are going to develop cross-promotional. Like, is Camille going to be a regular in AEW? Meanwhile, on the road to Empower, is Layla Hirsch going to be a regular in NWA? How are they going to, shuffle that around? Because, on the Impact side of things, Deanna has already agreed to be a part of it, right? So, I'm curious to see how all that's going to turn out, right? The storytelling part of it. For this match specifically, I think it was a great choice because, I figure Mickey James and Tony Khan probably sat down and said, hey, who do you have available? Who and Layla is all elite. So she's part of the company through and through. So, right now she didn't seem to have any feuds going on or anything like that. But this is perfect. This gives people more of exposure to Layla. Camille comes on over to AEW, which she looks like a, intimidating woman right there.
Oh, yeah, she is.
Tough and, all that, So pretty cool stuff there. What I did not like about the segment was Nyla Rose just randomly standing there, staring at Statlander.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. I'm like, what's up with that? Like that one threw me off guard.
Yeah,
I'm just like, I'm with you on that. Like, what's up with that? Like, what was the point of that? And she stood after the match. I don't know if you saw that. I'm like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, that's my nitpick right there.
So. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. The one nitpick I do have was a botch. And good thing that the camera was kind of like cut it off was the botch from Layla Hirsch, that moonsault. She went too far. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, yes.
She went too far.
Yeah.
And a good thing the commentator tried to, like, cover it up. Oh, yeah, Bunny moved. No, she didn't. She went
She was
far.
way
too far. Way off. I'm like, I hope you don't do that in Empower. Speaking of Empower, you mentioned, Mike, about Deonna Purrazzo. Breaking news. Deonna Purrazzo will be defending her Knockouts Women's Championship versus Melina at Empower.
Wow.
There you have
That's
it.
interesting.
That's going to be interesting to see. The Impact Knockouts Women's title defended on NWA. So that's
wow.
That is very cool.
Such good shit.
It really is. Everything's really going everywhere now. Fuck it. Let's get the Tokyo Joshi International Princess title defended.
Yes, for God's sakes. We need it over
bring
here.
Bring it all over.
Chago Pro, baby. Bring it over here. That's right. That's right. And now let's get to the main event of the evening. The one that everybody was waiting for, was doubting, everybody was cringing, everybody was like, please, anybody but Cody. But everybody got their wishes. We were like, woo, wait. I'm glad that it happened. That is right. Malachi Black. Great in-ring debut as well. A great entrance. And defeated Cody Rhodes. I think Cody Rhodes was about to, he gave a little post speech. Your competition, Revolution, blah, blah, blah. You want to take off your boot. Of course, Malachi comes with a nowhere, hit him, with the cane. With the cane to spread the stretcher. See, I always forget. I'm having a brain fart. And then the show ended. So I don't know what the hell or the fuck is Cody looking on with this post-retirement speech, quote unquote. I don't know where this is going with, but all I can say, giving my thoughts very briefly, gentlemen, great debut for Malachi. And this match actually looked strong. It made him look really, really strong. And that's what we needed. Applause. That's right. We needed Malachi to look this strong, and it makes sense how it ended. That's how you need to make your star strong. Because I didn't, we predicted a while back. My predicted, I would say, was one of the predictors saying that Cody will be turning heel. I was waiting for that, to be honest. When he took the mic, I was waiting for him. I want to thank you guys for nothing. I hate you. And he just walks off like I was waiting for that. It did not happen. It did not happen, Mike. I was gonna message you like
I wanted it too.
Right?
I was waiting for it. I was like, please, just do it already. I think maybe I think he's gonna go home, take his paternity leave, take care of the baby, and then he's gonna come back after he's had his few months with the baby. Jeff Jarrett's gonna fly down, and they're gonna come out to he's gonna come out of the ring with Jeff Jarrett, and they're gonna have the biggest smirks on their faces. They're gonna
hear "It's my world, my TNA Impact," Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, when Jeff Jarrett comes out, it will be like the most like, so I finally become what you wanted me to. I manifested this. But I got to say about the match and all, I said it was a punch and kick heavy match, and I love the way Malachi Black works. I got to say, those kicks, those punches, those knees, those elbows, that Muay Thai. People are like, that ass. I'm like, that Muay Thai. Muay Thai. And those antlers and that evil skull head and that Muay Thai. I wish he could wear the antlers in the skull head and then do the Muay Thai. And then I want him to spit black liquid too, and set some shit on fire. Like, I want to see Malachi Black like tear shit up. Like he could take it like 3 times further. I want to see him blow shit up.
Fine. Matt's on the road today. He wants some good shit. I want to see some good blow shit.
I want to see Malachi Black turn into the Emperor and just freaking. I want to see him turn into Vegeta and just.
Oh shit!
Just like like first match with Okada.
Oh shit! Hell yeah!
He actually launches an energy beam out of his hand. I'm like, people are like, what? It's like, yeah, AEW is so fake. That wasn't fake. He could actually do that. But
what are your thoughts on Matt about the post-retirement? I mean, is that what you expect? I mean, what is it like? What do you think is going to be that?
Okay, wait, guys. I just remembered this is the match where I said I was going to bring up that Cornette quote. Jim Cornette always says this: how can we miss you if you won't go away?
Thank you.
How can we miss you if you won't go away?
Anybody but Cody. Hashtag.
So Cody, people are listening to that quote. People, I'm wondering if that's a common wrestling advice when you go away for a little bit, so people will miss you again. Cody's either gonna go away for a while. If he comes back as babyface again, I'm just like, oh come on. like I mean, all of the elites pretty much, well, except for Hangman, all of the elites pretty much heels. And I'd say it's about time for Cody, because Cody is a great heel. He has a lot of talent in that field. You see it in WWE, you see it in Ring of Honor, you see it in New Japan. He's good at it. And maybe once Kota Ibushi comes to AEW, when he will eventually do, once Kota Ibushi comes back, they could finally have that last chapter. And Cody could be the heel he was in that final chapter of the Golden Lovers storyline, being jealous of Kenny and Ibushi's kind of friendship, the 3rd chapter. Maybe he might rub it in the face. Well, Ibushi, Kenny, there's something you two as Golden Lovers will never have. I could have babies, and look at this baby. You'll never have this. He could do something like that. I don't know. and then Jeff Jarrett could rip on them too. I don't know. They're not gonna go off the deep end and have Jeff Jarrett kiss kiss Cody. They're not gonna go that deep. That's something Vince Russo would try to make them do.
Oh yeah, he probably would. Money Mike.
Man. Okay, so first of all, yes, and to that Cornette quote, a perfect example is John Cena. He's being cheered like he hasn't been cheered before because he left. He is a legend now. He is on our screens as Dominic Toretto's brother now. And he has to take time off and all that good stuff to make these movies. And now he's back, and people, guess what? They cheer for him. Yes. So, yeah, you got to, take a step back, and who knows? Maybe we see Cody come back as Stardust, and why not, sort of thing. It's change it up. We need something different from Cody. I'll be honest. I'm a Cody fan. Why not? I'll admit it. However, I'm not lately. First of all, I don't know. It seems that he interjects himself whenever there's celebrities or stuff like that. And yes, hashtag anybody but Cody at this point. However,
welcome to the club, Frank. He came to the club, Frank, and best wishes, speedy recovery, Frank. Jofo the ring.
Yes, shout out to Jofo. Great work, guys. However, I do believe that, man, as soon as I saw Malachi Black just walk on over, put his foot on top of Cody, 1, 2, 3, I was like, you know what? That's all. That's it. Nobody can say that this guy is not putting anybody else over. That was a message. That, honestly, not just on the end of Cody, but I believe that was a message to people, for example, in the WWE, that, you know what, you're not being treated well over there. You're not being booked well over there. Over here, this is what we're doing with our new stars. We are actually putting them over, making them look strong. Believe me, I feel like this was a clear message on what they can do for new talent.
I feel I want to add to that. I agree with you on that. The only thing I want to add is Cody's making a point that stop putting yourself over, Cody. And this is finally, we were praying for it not to happen, you winning over Malachi. But something gives me a feeling. If he goes away and he comes back, he's going to be Malachi. I just have that feeling.
I'm okay with it. I'm fine. But here's the thing, asterisk. I feel that it would be fine with that happening if it happened probably like 3 months from now. A good amount of time has passed. And Malachi has done another feud, won that feud, remained strong. Cody comes back, beats him, but Cody comes back as heel, beats Malachi Black as face. That's the only way I'll accept it. Only way.
I'm with you on that. I accept it too. I'm with you. Because we don't look. You mentioned about Cody, about him being, there's always going to be the face with celebrities and everything. Why? Because he is the only one who came from a WWE product that is able to handle this type of situation. The elite, the rest of it can handle that. The Bucks can't do it. Omega can't do it. Hangman can't do it. They can. Cody knows how that chemistry works and he's been in those segments. They have not. So that's why
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Cody has been in those segments, and I know a while back, we compared him as John Cena because he wanted to be like the John Cena for AEW. I mean, so what? If he wants to be that, fine. But don't put yourself over all the damn time. That's the only thing that we ask. But that's a good thing that he did not in this match. So I'm with you when he said that in 3 months from now, if he comes back as a heel, fuck it, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in for that. Then I'll accept the win that he beats Malachi.
And also the thing, I'll say this, that keep in mind, All Out is next month. By him taking this loss, and here, I'm assuming that he's going to be away for a while. Maybe he'll be right back next week. Who knows? But I'm assuming that he's going to miss All Out, one of the biggest shows of the year, in order to make this count. You know what I'm saying? He's putting himself out of probably their biggest show, one of their biggest shows of the year. And I don't know. I feel like people have had not given enough credit to Cody and what he's doing that's best for business.
Yeah. Or this could be Cody maybe fucking saying, oh, he chose this time to try to give his retirement speech there that day. And then you hear the cult of personality, and there you go. There he comes, hey, get the fuck out of my ring. I'm here. You paid me. You're wasting my time. Take your retirement speech somewhere else. Make him the baddest heel of all time. Fucking GTS CM Punk. I mean, Cody Rhodes. Fuck it. The hell with it. Make Cody be getting his ass whooped. Cena went through it with Lesnar. He went through it with, who else? Another comeback. Mark Henry. Like, fuck it. Who cares? Let him have it. Shit. That's how I feel. But it was, by the way, a fourth week in a row for AEW, hitting their 1.108 million viewers on this Dynamite. 4 in a row for them. I know that everybody keeps saying it's a lot of internet bases that are saying that AEW is not a threat to WWE. To each his own. I'll let Money Mike give this right now because he's biting his lips. He wants to say it.
Before I talk about that, I want to say a little something that I didn't get to talk about. The backstage segments with Andrade and Chavo Guerrero.
Yes.
And first of all, I will give credit where credit is due. My girlfriend, shout out to my girlfriend, she told me weeks ago, she was like, you know what? Why don't they pair Fuego del Sol with Andrade? And at the time, I was like, okay, all right, I could see that. But I didn't think it would be possible. When it happened...
they're listening to you, Mike. They're listening to you guys.
Yes.
Check your phones. Your phones are tapped.
Very much so. I actually, when she told me that, I commented on Fuego's Instagram. He did not respond, but I'm sure he knew something. And I'm pretty sure, or that he went ahead and told Tony Khan, hey, I have this original idea. So Fuego, come on. If you took the idea, come on, give a little credit to Circle Debate. So, there you go. I'll leave it at that. Come on, Fuego.
Well, really? Him, chop my shoes! Chingada madre. Come on, Andrade. I know you can speak better English, cabrón. Si puedes. Chingado. The fuck?
It's like, I mean, how does he talk to Charlotte? Come on. I know.
Oh, no, he talks to her like, come on, babe. Si puedes, babe. Charlotte understands Spanish, but she can't speak it. Definitely. But in AEW news now, so before we go to the pro wrestling news, and before we're going to take a little quick break, and then we'll be back to end the show. So it's already confirmed, according to Fightful and according to not our best BFF, not Mr. Uncle Seltzer or his BFF of BBB, the biggest, I'm not going to say it, but yeah, AV, whatever, Alvarez, whatever his fucking name is. But it is, I guess, confirmed that Ruby Riott, formerly known as Ruby Riott, will be signing with AEW as Ruby Soho, which is her name, new name now. So she will be making her appearance in AEW very soon. We don't know when. We're going to see it very soon. And of course, what I'm questioning, why did AEW trademark King of Hearts? What's up with that? I don't know. Not so explanatory. We have to wait to see what happens on that. We're gonna keep an eye on that. Something's giving me something here that, yeah, I'm watching AEW. And of course, the bad news is obviously Max Caster. Everybody been going wild on social media about the fallout. He did got unbooked for an event beyond wrestling because of the whole fallout promo that he did on Dark. Even Tony Khan spoke about it, like that shouldn't have happened. Now I'm gonna go ahead and be overseeing Elevation and Dark moving forward. I guess he wasn't. I guess I don't know who was in charge of that. I think QT was in charge of that. QT Marshall, you kind of fucked up, bro. I don't know what you did there, buddy. But Max, yeah, hide out for a little bit of while. But I mean, I don't want to touch that type of subject because I know
we will, because we're circle of debate.
Yes, we are. Yes, yeah, absolutely. But we've seen it been happening. NXT, we already seen it there. We saw a little couple of racial profiling type of things. Is like, come on. I know what he was trying to say. Wasn't nothing. I guess he was more like on defending Simon Blythe. I don't know. It's hard for me to put it in words how I feel about it. But I understand people nowadays in this era, people get offended very, very easily. But I'll let Money Mike take the floor on that one. Give your thoughts about that.
I got something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, very much so. Different times. It's not the Attitude Era anymore. And the fact is that Max Caster is trying to generate heat. Now, I really, really think that Caster should really pick and choose what he talks about in those raps.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because, right, I mean, he comes up with some funny stuff. And I know that, I've noticed that he likes to rap and implement pop culture and current events and stuff like that. But it's very, very important to pick and choose things that are not going to offend people. And it's definitely a thin line there with what he's doing and what's going on. So he has to be smart about it. And I'm sure that Tony Khan spoke to him, and Tony Khan spoke to whoever's in charge of or was in charge of editing.
QT Marshall for a fact. Come on.
It seems like a Michael Nakazawa thing to happen. But no offense, Michael. He's entertaining. But yeah, no, at the end of the day, you gotta watch what you say. You have to filter out things. It's just the way. It's just how things are now. You have to, watch what you say, because you don't know how it's going to hurt somebody else. You don't know how others are going to take it. Max is a talented person in and out of the ring, so I'm sure he's going to bounce back.
I hope so. Yeah, I think so too. I did like the one with Eddie Kingston and Moxley. I think that's my favorite one. Like, I think I said it a while back in the archives. Subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of archive, like what he said, he smelled like a box of cigarettes. Like he reports. I love it. I love that. I love it. Matt Callis, your thoughts about that Max Caster situation?
So I gotta definitely give a shout out to Dirty Heels in this, especially because they follow battle rap in particular, and I follow battle rap as well. I watch a lot of the battles.
Kofi Wheaton. There you go.
Yeah, Kofi Wheaton, shout out to you. Dumbfounded versus Kid Twist. Thesaurus versus Kid Twist. Thesaurus versus Dumbfounded. In battle rap, a lot of politically incorrect things are said, but there's an agreement between the two guys before the battle. It's like the rules of a duel, because I guess like politically incorrect things are allowed to be said kind of the same way you're allowed to murder your opponent in a sword duel. So that's kind of So it's like an agreement, but the thing is, these wrestlers haven't entered into that handshake agreement in this duel with. So I'd say Max Caster should be allowed if you're the rapper battling him in that battle. So only towards it should only be within the rules of the duel. And the thing is, like, I kind of wish, you know, because John Cena made that comeback, and now, you know, that fantasy could have come true. It would have been like the perfect moment if right in the middle of the Max Caster rap that he does, that would have been the perfect time for John Cena to just come in. Hold up a minute. I did this shit way before you did, son. And now let me tell you, I got these gun bars coming out like a gun, like something like that. The Doctor Thugonomics debuting on AEW would have been so perfect, but you know,
Word life, baby.
Word life. We're not seeing it here, but I gotta say, I'm shouting out to the battle rap culture world. That's like the last duel of the wits, rather than, you know, you can't kill somebody in a duel, but you could definitely hurt their feelings.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you that 100%. But yeah, he'll bounce back. It's gonna take him some little time. We'll figure, you know, just keep him off.
He should duel dumbfounded.
Yeah,
why not? Right? Come to LA and come to some rap battles.
Ooh, I think there you go.
I think he's got the chops. That seems like the right place for him.
He should do what Cena tried to do in WrestleMania 19, where he challenged Jay-Z and these other rappers. But you know, maybe Caster can at All Out weekend could challenge some of these rappers. You know. Tony Khan, since we now know that Tony Khan listens to us. There you go.
Tony, I gotta give a shout out to two other, like, especially in modern day and on our current climate and like Asian artists coming up. I think two people Max Caster should battle with, Dumbfounded and Aquafina. Maybe somebody like them. That would be really interesting. And you'd bring in a whole different fan base into AEW. A fan base WWE ignores.
Wow, definitely. Also, one last thing. Congratulations to the new members of the Nightmare family. That's right. Baron Black, Kylie Clean, Red Velvet, and of course, Mr. Tornado, Fuego del Sol, baby. They made it. Congratulations to all four of you guys. Well deserved. Love you guys on BTE and the Sammy vlog. Fucking amazing, man. Some good shit. Well deserved. Congratulations to all of you. And but yes, we're gonna take a little quick break. When we come back, we're gonna discuss about just very brief pro wrestling news, and then we're gonna end it with quick NXT, and we'll end the show. But make sure you heard it last week, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't, also our audio platform listeners, when you hear this break, we are gonna be talking about our merchandise that is out in the store. Don't forget to click on a link tree below, and right there where you hit the merchandise store, purchase all your goodies here from Circle Debates. More coming as well. We will have a By God of Podcasting coffee mug. We will have obviously the God amongst insects of podcasting, Matt Callis. We will have that. Be expecting a lot of more exclusive merchandise to come out very, very soon. You know, coming up for the end of summer, and then for wintertime, there's going to be a lot coming up.
We don't make podcast. We make history.
Exactly. You will definitely get that. So we'll be right back. We're going to take a little quick break, brief break when you hear this message of the merchandise. We'll be right back.